Okay. We've got some Granite Waystones to get us some Grenadin at some point. Toppletower is just a good wall. And we've got 2 Crests to look out for extra early plays that we can do. So I think this is a pretty fine list. Not to mention Stonescar Scrapper here is just going to be pretty solid if we pick up any way to make more Grenadin. I'd be surprised if we don't with the extra scouting that we're going to get done. Opponent scouts and keeps on the top. Sure. We will do the opposite. Scout and onto the bottom. I'm worried that they're an aggressive list. Our deck is pretty good against aggro, but this particular hand isn't. I've generally liked a lot of the Grenadin lists against aggro, though. Hard for them to answer things like Spark Hatcher or Assembly Line in really good fashion. And they are, in fact, aggro. So Crest of Fury, another power card is pretty awful. Now I get the Grenadin drone. I'm going to keep that on top because we can drone and use Combust. And then Toppletower's got a little bit of power, and that's a tough one for them to deal with. I'm guessing that we kill the Rakano Outlaw, but it depends.
Stonescar
yeah, okay. That one needs to die even more. An even better one to kill. We can't let it get Overwhelm. It's just too good when it has Overwhelm. We can chump block for a long time, but we can't really stop that. Next turn 2, Toppletower should be able to stop the Rakano Outlaw. Okay. Glad they used that now instead of killing Toppletower with it, so that's perfectly fine. Ooh, and we get Scream. Alright, now we're sitting pretty. Get a couple of chump blockers. They might have another hideout pistol, be able to kill the Toppletower that way. Or an Annihilate. Annihilate would do it. But like, either way, it's going to get pretty large pretty quickly here. Sure. Use a torch. Yep. That's actually fine for us. I don't really mind. We still have the Stonescar Scrapper, too.
Draw, mister!
These parts could be worth something.
Annoying that they have another quick draw. Gotta imagine they have some Champions of Chaos and things like that. The quick draw units are tough for us to answer, although they might not have another torch. There's a really good chance they don't. Considering how long they're thinking, I would imagine they don't have anything too amazing here. Or they're just, like, super slow rolling us. Ooh, nice. Play that, Scrappy, and now we can use the ability on Scrapper. Let's see how big our Toppletower is. Okay, so it's actually at 8. Something that's important is when it's in your void, it counts itself, so you've got to subtract 2 from it whenever you're looking at it in your void. Something that I've made the mistake of a couple times already.
End of the road, friend.
Sure. I mean, this is a torch, but we still get some pretty good value out of it. I don't mind blocking. Force them to use it. We're staying at a high life total. We're getting more Grenadins into our void. That's 12 now. Let's go Quarry. Ooh, Assembly Line. Nice. Play the Fire Sigil. Oh, I actually missed. I should have played the Waystone. I was thinking we didn't have enough power to play the Grenadin off the Waystone and use this, but I was wrong. Oh, cool. Well, we drew out of it anyways. Perfect. We're at 24 life. They haven't come even close to killing us. And we have a very large Toppletower. Won't they be surprised in a moment? We've just got to chump block with enough here so that we can get it bigger. Oh, not attacking. We're just short of being able to sacrifice enough to Haunting Scream it back and kill them. Because it's 20 right now. It would be 24 with these two dead. But that's going to cost us 6, and we're 1 short then. So we can Stonescar Scrapper.
Something.
Sacrifice both of these. Then play Grenadin, pass, and GG. Probably. Oh, they're playing Justice too? Interesting. Sitting on some slaves. So they're the greedy 3 colors. Oh wow, with champions of both colors. That's a tough one. That one's always hard to make work out. But, in any case. Where was it? Oh, there it is. Hey! That's so good. I'm glad that it worked this well in the first game. What up? Toppletower here. This hand can be dicey. I actually think I like it though. Banner, then Crest. We can Quarry turn 3. It's a little slow, but if they're not really aggressive, I'm okay with it. That's unfortunate. Or if we just drew another power, obviously.
A single shot is all it takes.
They're pretty aggressive. This could be a big problem. Opponent pausing. Pausing. They played their power. They played their creature. Time to think. There we go. Alright. Get to play a game. They might have had a problem with the connection there. Snap bottom of 5. We really don't want to have that. Sabotage. Sure. They should get Quarry. But they wouldn't know that. Yeah, they'll take in Combust. That's perfectly fine.
A single shot is all it takes.
Oh, wow. They have a really strong hand. Those are your best 2 drops in Shadow, basically, for any deck. And getting 2 of them is very strong. I think... we can take a free Grenadin drone. It's probably the best. Third Scrapper. Let's not do that. We still have the option to chump long enough here that we can live. Rough start. Very rough start. Opponent has a very strong start. But we can pull this out. It's going to be very hard. I mean, this is just such a... This is a pretty big beating in terms of discrepancy in the draw. We've got enough that we can do it. I blocked there because I've got the Toppletower. Toppletower is big enough that it stops those, I hope. They probably have a Slay and then it just descends still, but what do you do? We're stuck on power. They had their 2 drops that are the best thing in their deck. Especially against us with Grenadin. Like, just really, really bad matchup. Great draw from our opponent, bad draw from us. A lot of bads happening here. Chump with 1. Take 5. We actually can't live if we do that. Yeah, I mean, just super, super awkward. Still no power. Alright, so we just die. Oh well. We had a really good game 1. I guess that game makes up for it because we just didn't draw anything that was useful and our opponent had a great draw against us. let's go to game 3. Yeah, games like the last one are hard to commentate on, because I'd like to say something a little bit more insightful about it, but, I mean, it ultimately ends up as our opponent had 6 power, the 2 best 2-drops in their deck, and we had nothing. We had 3 power and no creatures. Not much I can do about that. Quarry, assembly line. I'm gonna keep it. It's a little dicey. I could have mulliganed the last hand that we had too, but I don't know that we would have gotten a better one against the hand that our opponent had. This one is looking very good now that we got that. I think I should keep a second Crest. Considering that we're going to Quarry anyways, and I wouldn't mind just being able to keep playing power, Quarry should hit us another piece of good gas. And the Crest will let us actually get to Stonescar and Scraptank, so makes a lot of sense to keep it. Feln Banner is useful because eventually we need to Scream, but I think that we're just going to want to Quarry.
Trust in your skills.
What is our opponent playing? They haven't done anything yet. So I'm gonna Quarry. Hit Scraptank. And then we'll Crest. I'm hoping to hit something like Devour or Combust to go with this Madness. I'm gonna need to have a way to deal with this Flyer. Flyers are a really big problem for any Grenadin list. We've talked about that before. At least now we get Scraptank into Scraptank. And then Scrapper, hopefully.
Rakano's weapons are unmatched.
I mean, ideally, the best thing that we could possibly get is just Combust right now. We're hoping that our opponent doesn't have a Torch. Considering how fast that passed, they certainly don't. They'd have to top deck it here. They might have a Vanquish, which would be a problem. Not as bad, but definitely a problem. Oh, they're the... All of these 3-color greedy aggro decks. Kind of weird. Keep seeing them cropping up more and more. They're the Scraptank first. We can throw some Grenadins at their face. They'll just take the damage, or they should. Guess there was an argument to play Stonescar Scrapper because that would give us a way to Madness it. Nice. Where's Combust? That's not Combust. Well.
These parts could be worth something.
Really wish we'd drawn a power, too. Because just using Scrapper would have been very, very useful.
Let your spirit rise.
Yep. Please give me a Madness. Please, 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 please. Or not Madness, sorry. Please give me Combust. Paused. Pausing. So did they draw Torch? I mean, if they drew Torch, don't they just slam it? Could be like a Finest Hour, but that doesn't seem super likely. I'm not sure what's going on over there. They just forget to pass their turn. It seems fairly likely. Okay, well, we've got some decent-sized scrap tanks now. Crest is unfortunate. We could Dark Return something. There's Combust. Boy, that would have been good a moment ago. I could Unseen Commando back from the grave, and that honestly sounds like not a bad idea. Definitely keep Combust on top. Grab the Commando, and then we'll pass. Because we can Combust Shelter Wing into a 0-5. Yep, there's the problem. Well, how do we win? If we get Madness, I guess, is the way to do it. Or another Combust, something like that. Bottom that. Be good cards. Good cards. Nope. Just not getting there. A little too late on everything. I guess I could have Unseen Commandoed and Combusted to make that only 5. But I think that just trying to draw, like, looking at 5 cards made sense. We had... What is it? Would have been 3 Madness, 3 Combusts to hit, so 6 out of them. 6 out of like 55 cards. Not a high chance, about 10%, but still. Is there any way that we can live? I guess, right? I imagine that this is the end of the game, though. Yep, second hammer. So, with Unseen Commando in play as well, we would have lived. Possibly. It's certainly likely if they have like a torch or something off the top, and they could have done something with that. Or just the Finest Hour. They did pause when they only had 1 power open, so it's certainly possible that would have happened. But... close game, needed a bit of a way to deal with the flyer. That's always a problem with the Grenadin decks. It does have an issue with flyers. It was a little unlucky that we just spent that long digging and not hitting any answers to it, and that they had the plate and the hammer and everything else to just constantly buff it over and over. But it was close. I could have done that last turn a little bit better and not tried to dig as hard, but I felt like it was pretty likely they'd be able to just kill the Unseen Commando and still get in and we'd just lose. I figured that the best chance was for me to just go like Combust, or Madness, pop the Aegis, and then Combust it. Something like that. Didn't work out that way, but it's a tough thing to say because it really just depends on what was in their hand and what we drew. And as it turns out, what they had in their hand and what we drew didn't match up with the game plan that I had. But I'm not entirely certain that my game plan was wrong. I feel like I was going for the best chances of things happening. So it's almost a 50-50 coin flip on that one, honestly. Alright, in any case, let's slam back in for game 4. Whew. It hasn't really bitten us yet, but we cannot seem to buy a hand with a 3rd power. I'm gonna redraw this one. Alright. Okay, I mean, we can play everything. This looks pretty good, decent. I don't mind it. Got Spark Hatcher into Spark Hatcher. Good enough? I think that's fine. It's possible that I wanted to dig just because it's really nice to get, say, like, a Devour or something online to try and find what we need. It's a tough choice, because if they're an aggro deck, I think that I really like this. Yeah, okay, cool. Made the right choice then, I believe. More aggro cards, better chances against this kind of a deck. Could have held that back. I'm getting a little greedy, but I think we're okay. Do you throw it in against Sparkcatcher? I mean, you know I'm going to block, so you have to have something like a Finest Hour. And they don't. Oof. Alright, we need some non-power cards. Based on last turn, I'm okay attacking this one again. And opponent scoops. Cool. We had Scraptank as a follow-up there, so I think we were in really good shape. They ended up just kind of petering out. They probably needed some fire, and they got frustrated, so they just quit. Yeah, very early scoop, but what do you do? Let's hope that we get awesome finals. Well, I asked for an awesome finals, and this is a pretty good hand to have an awesome finals with. This has got a bunch of really cool cards. So we just go Banner, and then we'll do Quarry. Sparkcatcher plus Devour is a lot of great synergy for us. Getting something into our Void, and giving us a bunch of extra cards, so we can just keep powering things up. Looks awesome. Opponent on that, Praxis. I'm okay with Toppletower into the yard. We even have Dark Return if we really want to get it back. And I want to make sure I get enough power to be able to play this Stonescar Scrapper. Crest of Chaos. Do I keep Crest? Considering I'm only 1 power off of Scrapper, I think I can throw that one. We're 1 power off of Scrapper, and we have Devour to draw a bunch of cards, so that's where I'm pretty okay with it. Nice. Gonna attack. And then, I'm gonna Devour it right now. I know that we could play the Toppletower, but I want to try and hit a power card, and I'd like it to not be Granite Waystone. Oh well. Don't always get what we want. We did get a Madness Combust, though, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, this is sweet. So Madness Combust works really well when your opponent has things like Crimson Firemaw, and you get to make your card cheaper, as well as getting rid of theirs. And they might have Torch, but doesn't do enough. Man, we can even Dark Return the Firemaw if we really want. It's too bad that we had to sacrifice it with Combust here, because obviously that's kind of... Combusting the 2-1 is medium. That being said, still pretty solid for us. I should have actually attacked that. That was silly of me. Could have chipped in for an extra damage. Although, would have been very... No, that would have been wrong. That would have been very, very wrong. I was right doing it the way that I did it. There's a card to make cheaper. I was very right in the way that I did it, because then they could just block, and I don't have anything to combust, and then that's really bad for us. That would have been really dumb. Strike what I said. I did things properly.
These parts...
Doing it the other way around would be very, very bad news. Opponent definitely has a torch. Looks like they don't have 2, or they probably would have used it on the Scrapper. Ah, they have Obliterate.
Now, fire!
Sure. We get the chump block. We're fine with that. Sandstorm Titan is really good against our strategy of flying over with a single Toppletower. So that is a bit
These
of an
pods
issue.
could be worth something.
Scrapper number 2, do you have another Obliterate? I hope not. Because I'll admit, this Scrapper is pretty key to our plan right now. I can Dark Return it, but I'd rather not. Silence it. Ugh. That's not much better. Well, we know that our opponent has a torch, so I would block everything here against the Sandstorm Titan attack. Another Madness. That's good. I think I just like Sparkcatcher Toppletower past the turn. We can Madness back Stonescar Scrapper soon enough and then start using it.
Safe travels.
Right now the board's stable. They're not doing anything. We're not really doing anything. We know that they have Torch and a power card in their hand. Neither of which is... Oh, wait, they don't? What did they pause on? Oh, it was Talir's Intervention. Right. That's what they had. Okay, wow. That's a lot of Sandstorm Titans. Nice. Well, we get Stonescar Scrapper. And another Toppletower. I think we just pass. There's an argument for attacking with a Toppletower, I think. Do another Crimson Fire Mob, but that's not a problem while they have Sandstorm Titan, which is the double-edged nature of Sandstorm Titan here for our opponent. And now, good news, Stonescar Scrapper just kind of runs away with this game. They need a removal spell for it, and there's no real removal spell that they can have. Obliterate doesn't kill it anymore because we've given it the +1/+1. And we can just... Oh, come on! Oh, wow. The silence there is absolutely back-breaking. What a hit. That's so brutal. Such an incredible top deck. Well, nothing I can do about it. I'll attack with these, trade them off, try and start something. They're gonna have better top decks than us now. I obviously already did. That was so backbreaking. Just hard to have happen. Heartbreaking hit. Even one turn drawing 2 extra cards probably wins it for us there. Well, hopefully we get a way to use this Madness. Or we just do that. Draw a second Madness. Pass the turn. I mean, Madness is good against our opponent, but... Big but. We need a way to sacrifice, and our opponent top decked the way to stop us. Now, that was pretty backbreaking. Wow.
Fire!
More removal. Scary, scary. We're just gonna pass. We're stuck doing this. Another World Bear. Wow. Oh boy. They should start just slamming in soon. Slight advantage to us in that we can Madness World Bear that already has itself ability upped a little bit, so that can be some extra value for us. It looks like they've top decked again. Okay, good. Whew, thank God. Thank goodness. And that Combust was very nice. There was an argument probably to Combust and kill a Sandstorm Titan, because that's what I really need to stop here. We need Sandstorm Titan out of the way. Now it's time to start attacking around it, make us a big scrap tank if we can. Alright, so. Can't ask for everything all the time. We did have a couple of good hits there. Opponent's draws were super on point. That Purify was so backbreaking. I'm still just like I'm stunned by that. That was so brutal. Still, I got a really good chance to just Madness, steal something, Haunting Scream, attack with everything, and win. So blocking with all of them there makes sense in case they have another torch. So that they can't keep the Titan alive. Really want to kill our 5-2. They've got to have Heart of the Vault then. Deal the last 2 points of damage. I guess it doesn't make sense because they don't save it. Sure. So Madness, Scream. God, I really wish that we had a way to get rid of that Titan. Scream back Toppletower is 16. I mean, that does kill them, right? Should. Whew. One through that top deck Purify feels pretty good. Because they have to block the 14, and then the rest of it is more than enough. There we go. That was a good game to end on. I was so worried about that Purify. That was at such a back-breaking point of that game, and I really felt like they would have better top decks than us at the end there, but we managed to draw really, really well at the end after getting blown away by that Purify. Despite the fact that I was unlucky in that turn, I was quite lucky afterwards to keep drawing actual gas. Getting the Combust for the Madness. Our opponent not being aggressive enough probably helped us too, because I think that they should have just been willing to trade off some creatures and slammed in a little bit more. We'd have had to start chump blocking. Some of the trades would have been not great for them, but they've got to start putting some kind of pressure back on us, because eventually the Grenadin decks hit a like critical mass of Grenadins in the void, and they get a lot of advantage out of either, you know, Gear Cruncher or Caleb, things like that, that the Praxis deck, because it doesn't have board sweepers, can't really deal with, and they need to put some kind of pressure through that, and they just kind of refused. In any case, that was a really fun little list. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Getting that Scream the first game was the best thing ever, actually hitting them for 24. So that was a really good example of just how much of a blast this deck can be to play. I think that it's got some legs. Like, it's really quite good. There's probably some changes that you can make to make it a little bit better. This is a rough first draft. I've only been playing it for 2 days, but it seems really sweet. It's super fun. So I would highly recommend trying something like this or brewing up a similar list on your own, just as something fun to play. If you like my content, though, then you can always, as usual, I'll end this little video here by asking for you to like and subscribe. I know that everybody asks for it, but it does really help out quite a bit. I'm making content full-time. We got just barely enough support, thanks to the wonderful donators in my chat and to my sponsor, inkgaming.com, to be able to continue doing some full-time work, at least for the next month or so. But I still need some support to continue that into the future. We're right on the edge. So if you have a little bit of time to just even like, subscribe, if you can go to Patreon and you can give $1, that'd be awesome. But if you don't, that's fine. Share it out to somebody that you think would like the video. Put it up on Reddit where you think that it would be good. That kind of thing always really, really helps. And of course, check out my Twitch channel and check out my Ink Gaming store. You can find it below. If you buy anything from Ink Gaming, remember to use my promo code down below as well. In any case, I will see you again next week, and thank you very much for all the fun.